ask each of you creators, what's the story behind the creation of this book? And how did you pull this all together?
The story behind this book comes from the Beyond the Bars Fellowship. Usually the Beyond the Bars Fellowship, the main responsibility of the fellows is to work a conference. But the year our fellowship happened, we were in the pandemic, 2020 to 21, therefore there was no conference. So the wonderful Beyond the Bars Fellowship thought that it would be a great idea to put us in solidarity groups. So Ashley, Armando, and myself became the group known as Families Impacted by Incarceration. Me personally, I was a little saddened by being put in this group, considering I wanted to do something different. I was so looking forward to being in the restorative justice group, just my own personal preference. But I am grateful that I am here now because I feel that we created something amazing. We brainstormed a few sessions of what this project would be. I think we had an idea of a teddy bear that would record, that would have affirmations and positive message for children. We thought about creating, I can't remember the other idea that we had, but I know that it was fascinating. And then we thought, well, what's something tangible that we could have for families and to also get them involved? And after much brainstorming from the three of us, we decided to come up with a book. We didn't know what the title would be. We didn't know exactly what it would be, but we knew that we wanted a book. And I'll pass it on to Ashley. Maybe he or Armando could possibly expound a little bit further on, how we came up with this wonderful project.
Thank you for that. So yeah, I remember, like you mentioned before, with the fellowship, it was during the year of the pandemic, so everything was online. And typically the goals was the conference. So we got into this group, and immediately when we got into the group, we all connected. And it's because of the lived experiences that we have of having folks on the inside. So I think that was, so once we came up, when we began to think of ideas, we thought of ways in which we could keep folks that are on the inside, involved in the project, as well as folks that are on the outside. We were trying to bridge the gap. So I definitely remember the idea with the teddy bear, or like a stuffed animal, in which the person from the inside would say something to their loved one on the outside, or vice versa. And initially, we were focusing on trying to speak on the truly underrepresented group within folks that are incarcerated, that is females that are incarcerated. And so we went from there. We had this brainstorming session, and then I remember out of nowhere, I don't remember who said, but I want to say it was me, because I know sometimes I can be a little overzealous. I was like, we should just write a book, right? And you were like, I remember Iisha, she was like, that's a lot, right? I was like, I have papers and stuff for class. I was like, yeah, we write all the time. And then that was where it kind of began to tell the stories of females and how their process of being incarcerated and, having their loved ones at home, in the void in which, happens in the household, and then also the lack of attention that they receive. So we went from there, and then it just kind of began to manifest, began to like blossom into other groups where they were saying, hey, people forget about us too as fathers when we're gone. So we decided to include everyone within the project. And that's kind of like how it started to begin, if I remember, from a little piece that I remember. You could fill in, Armando, if there's some stuff I'm forgetting.
Yeah, thank you, Ash. I do remember when we brought up the idea of the book. And I do remember Iisha was very like, man, like, how are we going to do this, right? But I do remember when we started the book, or with the idea of the book, we were still kind of grappling around like, okay, what exactly? And we kind of just came to a conclusion with like affirmations, right? Like still focusing on women and, amplifying their experiences and, their loved ones as well. But we were still trying to hone in like what exactly. And I forget if it was me or Ash, but I was just like, let's focus on affirmations. Like, let's focus on affirmations and let's kind of run with it. And we kind of did, like, we just kind of started reaching out to folks. Somebody that that was in the Beyond the Bars cohort our year, she had access to women in Bedford, and she was like, oh, I can definitely support. And that's just how it just kind of snowballed. Like, you know, within community, folks were just like willing to support the project, and just, you know, we have something, you know, it's what we have right now. You know, it's Unwritten.
And I also want to add that, yes, the affirmations were a big piece of it, but I think the more that we dove into this project, we discovered that it was a lot more than just affirmations. You know, we thought about the healing process of it all, and what writing can do for, you know, individuals specifically that are incarcerated. And in one of our brainstorming sessions, we did come up with a trigger for individuals that would participate in the book, because they were asking, like, well, what is this? Like, what should we write? Like, what should we say? And we kind of thought, well, wouldn't it be nice to hear from the perspective of the incarcerated individual? Well, what did you learn since coming to prison? What have you discovered about yourself? And to me, the entries that we received were just so powerful, so vulnerable, and so true to what their experience was. I'm just so grateful with how Unwritten has come together, and how we truly have been able to uplift and magnify, you know, the voices of the voiceless. So I'm just proud of us, guys.